clock, yeah, feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick-tock, won't stop, let the facts talk. Pull up real close, yeah, it's crime o'clock. Clock, clock, yeah. Typically new, neon signs glow, brick wall behind me. Headlines loud, but they never define me. They rush the story, skip the proof. I slow it down, let it show the truth. Files on deck, read every line. Timestamps matter, so does time. If it don't fit, I don't force the frame. Ask one question, whole story change. No fear my voice, no need to shout. Paper speaks when you read it out. If the math's off, I'll circle twice. Truth ain't loud, but it ain't nice. Yeah. Read it again. It's crime o'clock, yeah. Feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop. Let the facts talk. Pull up real close, yeah. It's crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock. Read it again. They sell a narrative if I sell receipts. Courtroom quiet, but the pages speak. Word for word, no added spin. Let it stand, yeah. Let that sink in. Screenshot save, timeline's tight. Missing pieces keep me up at night. If they say elected, I say why. If they say case closed, I say try. No rush here, we do it right. Truth don't bend for the likes of hype. If you came for noise, you in the wrong spot. This is evidence, this is crime o'clock. Clock, clock, clock. Stay with me. This isn't background noise. This is pattern recognition. This is documents. This is crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock, yeah. Feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop. Let the facts talk. Say it with me now. Crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock. Typically unique. It's crime o'clock. Yeah. If you're here, you're early. If you're listening, you're paying attention. Show starts now.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, I still have this in my ear. Welcome back to Crime O'Clock. We're clocking in. It's Friday. Crime O'Clock on Typically Unique. It's good to see you guys. I hope you're all having a great day today. Oh, I forgot to do that move, Jeff. I'm sorry. Thank you, Skull. I know. I appreciate you so much. He was live just a few minutes ago. And if you guys are not checking out Skull Mackay's channel, he's on usually every morning, right, Skull? I'm not sure what time you start, but you are always on in the morning when I wake up and see it. And then I go on usually after him, and then Dago goes on after me. So, and we collaborate a lot. So that's awesome. Does Carlos braid your hair? Nope, I do it. I do it all by myself. It's just twist, twist, twist. I flip it, and then I do like a quick fishtail. This is a super fast. Oh my gosh, I have to hurry up and get ready. Oh, maybe I'll have Carlos try that. That would be fun. Yeah, happy Friday, everybody. I hope I don't have to do this, but if you see me looking over this way, I have a window to the front of my house, and I have a dead cherry tree, which I'm mad about because we just had it put in a couple years ago and it was just teeny, teeny, tiny, so it never took off. But I have these two robins that are around my house, backyard, front yard, and I feel like he's following me. It's funny. When I'm in the kitchen, that's my backyard. I'll see them when I'm up here in my computer room. He'll come up front but he keeps flying into the window. I guess I got to get some, like, what do you put on there? Like the sticky things, the clings or something, so they don't fly into the window. Senor Wazowski, you braid your daughter's hair. Aw. Yeah, I did my daughter's hair fancy one time. One time when she was a freshman in high school. That's all she would let me do. And then she cut it all off, and she's always had short hair. But we promote you do you. All right. So today what I have lined up is I don't know how many I pulled out of here. Let's see. I have 1, 2, I don't know, 5 or 6 of the docs that were just released that are the state's rebuttal to the defense witnesses. They're experts. And woo, there's some interesting information in there. So I pulled out the ones that are about the DNA. And then, Christina, I saw your comment. I pulled out the ones about the car. So I also messed with my sound this morning. So let me know if I'm too loud, too soft, just right. I don't know if I could. Well, I guess I could play with it. Let me see. Lots of people in here. Hi, Critter. Hi, Right Turn Clyde. Skull, of course. I dropped you a link in Discord, Skull. Think about it if you want to come up. I'd love to have you. Thanks, Lucy. I sound crisp. That's what I was going for. I wanted that, like, it was just off a little bit. So, hi, Dinocytes. Hi, Jeff. Jen 7S, hello, Mikey. Is it itty bitty poof? Am I saying that right? Is it the F sound at the end? You can braid others' hair, just not your own. Yeah. When it comes to the back of it, that's hard. Yeah. There he is. I'm bringing you up.
Hi.
Hey, you.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is awesome.
Hey. Well, I'm up here now. Let's do this.
How you feeling today?
Huh?
How are you feeling today?
I'm good.
Good.
It was a fun stream, actually. It was very peaceful. Everyone that supports you was showing me mad love.
You're
I was
great.
replaying Dagos. So it's funny because during Dago, the freaking smoke alarm was going off. So, like, halfway through, I think when you came up, I went and replaced the batteries.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I finally did. So, like, halfway through Dagos, you stop hearing it. So, yeah.
That's funny. Well, at least you could find yours. Remember, Lana couldn't find hers. It was like buried in a wall or something. That's funny.
That's funny.
Yeah, I sent Dago a link too, but he's sometimes busy in the morning, so he
But let me try to refresh it because the audio is going through the earpiece and it's treating it like a phone call. So I have to refresh it so I can hear you through my speaker.
Yeah, you're a little broken up.
Okay.
Yeah, you can fix that. All right. So before we get into the docs and all that stuff, and I have some videos to go with it too. Oh, he's probably going to come back. Did you let me know in the chat if you listened to the Jack Schoalter audio interview? It was his first interview that Truth and Transparency played last night. And speaking of Truth and Transparency, she is going to join us on the Verdict Room tomorrow night, 6 p.m. So make sure you don't miss that. It's going to be, I'm so looking forward to that. I am such a huge fan of hers. I think when the Idaho 4 case broke, she was probably one of the first channels that I transitioned from TikTok over to YouTube, and I think it was her channel name that everybody was referencing. And Yeah, I'm gonna be fangirling a little bit tomorrow night. But are you there, Skull? I can't hear you. He'll figure it out. So I did listen to the interview, and let's see. A couple of the things that Jack said, just as Jack Showalter, when he was talking about Eric Gower, the private driver, I thought he made good points. And I'm not so sure about how I'm feeling about Jack Showalter. I know there was like this second investigation that was going on with him. I think Connor Chestnut and maybe Cole Barenberg. I don't completely understand why there was this. Maybe it had to do with selling or something like that. Who knows? Some other separate investigation. So I think there's something there. I don't know if he's completely tied to this crime, but with the private driver, Jack was saying like he assumed they were getting in a car with a personal friend because he didn't recognize the car as the Sober Bros, right? So why would you, this is a great question, I think. Why would you pay for a private driver when you have access to free drivers through the fraternities? I think there's something there. Like when you're in college, you're not trying to like throw money away. Are you there yet, Skull? I can't hear you. Well, let me see if he messaged me in the private. How do I find the private chat? Where's it? Oh, there it is. Oh, he'll figure it out. That's okay. Yeah, why did they investigate them separately? Oh, that's weird. He did. He thought it was Xana picking them up. That was interesting. Like that he said that, but Xana's car, I mean, maybe he didn't know Xana's car, but hers is blue, not silver. Uh-oh. Well, someone I think was saying that last night. Dago was talking about some people saying that the site was down, but the Ada County site. Let me see. I got it bookmarked. I can click on it real fast. Maybe they're either they uploaded something that they weren't supposed to upload. That's the wrong one. They've done that before. Or they maybe they're uploading stuff. Oh no, I don't want to leave. Don't leave. No, cancel. I almost left the live. That would be bad. So yeah, I think there's that paying for a private driver is very weird. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to share this with you guys because I don't know why people are saying that. So I'm going to share my screen right here. So I always go to, I have it bookmarked. It's the coi.isc.idaho.gov/docs/cases. So it's already like going straight to Brian Koberger's page. It's there. So I think, because I'm telling you, I heard people saying this yesterday. I think maybe the main page or something. I don't know. Is it better now, Skull?
Hear me?
Yes. Talk some more.
Hello.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
All right. So yeah, people were saying that they thought the site was down, but I don't know. And did you listen to Jack Showalter's interview on Lana's?
When yesterday?
Yeah, last night.
I did. There's a lot I didn't catch though. It was just weird. The mom intervened, right? And eventually she was like, they need a lawyer. But I think what the controversy was that they were claiming that he didn't have any injuries, but at no given point did they write in their report that they inspected him or something like that.
With Jack Schoalter, I
Yeah.
don't know. I didn't write anything down about that part of it.
Lana mentioned something like that. Like, how are they going to sit there and say that they inspected him when there's no note and no account recorded of when they went over to the house to interview him, that they actually inspected him for injuries? And that was
Ooh.
something that she was calling out. But that's pretty. I didn't watch it thoroughly, but if you're gonna watch it, I'm down.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to watch it. I watched it last night, and I just because I mean, I want her to. That's she pays a lot of money for that stuff. So
Okay,
I just
gotcha,
wanted to
gotcha.
talk a little bit about the first point that I was talking about was that Jack S. was. I thought he made a good point about the girls, Kaylee and Maddie, paying for a private driver when they have access to the free sober bros. Like, and you're broke in college usually, although Kaylee seemed to have a lot of money, but I don't know. That was weird to me. Like, were they doing it for a safety reason or some
I
other?
was thinking that. I was thinking that at one point because I'm like, what did they have to fear? They were trying to be super secretive and hush hush when it came to this so-called private driver. And at one point, I recall they were trying to confuse us, claiming that he was a DoorDash and vice versa, right? But
Yeah,
what was I gonna say? Crap, I lost my train of thought.
that's okay. It wasn't just those two. I mean, there were other girls from other houses, although when Eric Gower spoke, I think he did make it seem like even though it was other people he would pick up, it was usually at that house. He might have mentioned another house, but those are all things
Yeah,
that
he
I noted.
clearly said that they constantly hit him up to take him to Grub Truck. And what I don't understand, supposedly Grub Truck is also like walking distance from their house, right? It's not like even a mile away. Or
I don't know. But I think Jack Showalter, when because he walked from the Grub Truck back to the Queen Road Apartments, and I think he said it took him like 20 minutes, which
yeah,
to me that's a mile. Yeah,
yeah,
20
that's a
minutes.
mile. That
Yeah,
that sounds right. Yep.
yeah, yep. I don't know. And then some people call it the drug truck.
Yes, the drug truck. It's so obvious, Kim. When I used to back in my club days in Hollywood, there's this freaking truck food truck that everybody would gather at. And come on, you're seeing people standing there for freaking hours, and you barely see people ordering. There's people coming in and out ordering, but then you got those fools loitering. It's like, what the freak are they doing there?
Ooh,
It's
that
so
would be
obvious.
interesting. I never did that I mean, I've seen that footage so many times. Oh my gosh. But I never paid attention to like who's doing what you just described, like who's been there, maybe not ordering, or even if they
Yeah,
do
just
order.
loitering around. So many of them. And then I'm seeing people getting their food that are coming in and out. So I'm like, what are these people doing loitering around?
You guys, this is Scully that's up here with me. Skull Mackay.
I
Yeah.
don't know why that picture came up.
When we don't have our names up here. Why don't we have our names up here? I don't know. My settings are probably messed up.
It's all good.
Yeah. I'll just keep reminding everybody. Tell everybody in the chat. Yep, it's Skull Mackay. Oh, what was the other thing he mentioned? Oh, when he was asked about drugs, he definitely said Xana, yes. He said Maddie was like straight, just drank. And he said over and over again, he kept calling Ethan the male, the male in the house.
Oh
Like,
my God.
and I thought that was weird because I do think I watched I think the Sigma Chi interviews said that Jack Showalter would be in the house. Like he's been there, I think. So
Oh.
that was interesting. The male. I don't know the male.
It reminds me of the narrative reports when we first got them, and they were describing when the first cops, I mixed up their names, had first arrived on scene. They would describe Hunter Johnson, but they kept referring to the girls. Oh, the females outside were saying, or the females outside were
Oh.
speculating. And I'm like, okay, so why are they addressing Hunter like that? But then the females, they're grouping them together, and it's like, I don't know. To me, that was kind of gave me red flags.
Oh, yeah. Good point. I didn't remember that Hunter had said that. Yeah, and the other thing, Jack Schoalter was like, he didn't know Kaylee. He did say, I did talk to her that night. He did say that at the corner club, but he said he didn't really know her. But then on the other hand, he knew she was leaving college and moving. So like, I don't know, maybe they talked about that at the corner club, but I thought you don't know her, but then you know this stuff about her. That was weird. What else? Oh, he did kind of slip up, and I know Lana commented on this too. That he said he had to walk down to go past to see what was going on at the house in the morning, and he said he saw the trailers. Well, if you were going or like those trailers didn't show up till like 4 or something, 2, 4. I don't know. It was later than what he said.
How come the rumors early on said that he left after Grub Truck and drove straight to the cabin?
I have no idea where that rumor came from. It must have come from like 4chan or something.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I've never seen anything. No evidence. It hasn't
No
come up in
evidence,
the
right?
interview. What's that?
No evidence, right? Yeah, you're right. Because I remember hearing that rumor 2 years ago.
It was immediate. It was like that was because early on in the case, I mean, I thought it was Jack Showalter. I mean, weird guy walking with the girl, showing up at the grub truck. Like, I mean, I
And
always
did
thought it was
they
him.
ditch him, or was it already like a planned thing that he was gonna go his separate way and they were gonna like bounce in the car? Because the way they were trying to portray it to in the media was that he got ditched because he was being weird.
We don't know that. One of the
Yeah.
things that was always speculated was that Maddie's boyfriend wanted him to keep an eye on her because they're in the same fraternity. Okay. But that boyfriend, Jake Schreiber, is graduated already and living in Boise. So that would make sense. But then in that Amber Vance video, her opinion or idea was that Maddie had kind of had a little fling with Connor Chestnut.
Oh, okay.
And
How is Adam
she,
connected to them?
what was that?
Besides, how is Adam connected to them? Besides with Jack, besides um
Through
besides
Jack.
of her saying that they told Adam everything. The roommates, I
That's
forgot how they're acquainted.
Adam. Adam Latta is Jack Decor's roommate, and they're in the same fraternity.
Okay, and then Jack Decor is the one that was going on with Kylie.
Yes. Yep, with Kaylee.
Okay, gotcha.
That was Kaylee's ex. But this thing with Connor Chestnut, apparently, I mean, I think people are just speculating. I don't know what the evidence is. Unless there's initials in some of the reports. Most of the reports from Moscow have initials. And so you can guess what the name is, but he is, I guess, the guy she kissed in Mexico. And then people are saying that's Jack S's best friend, but then I'm like, how do you know that? I don't know. How do you?
Yeah. I've noticed that a lot of channels are just going off of base like trust me, and there's no receipts. I'm like, it's just gossip.
Yeah,
It's hard, or it's easy to get tempted into falling into those rabbit holes.
yeah. So yeah, Jack was definitely suspicious. I think he's still in there. I don't know, just because of the DNA stuff, but I saw someone in the chat say that Pav put out a short about a doc or something. Okay. Let me know what that Pav put out a short regarding a motion on March 26th, Love and Other Habits. What was his point about that? If you don't mind sharing that. I'm going to show a little clip from Pav later because he explains the Jack Showalter DNA not being on the sheath. Have you heard that one? Jack Showalter's DNA was on the sheath.
But that was not true, right? It was we got confused based on the labeling and how
Yep.
they separate. One was for the swabs, the other one was for the evidence collected, right? It's it,
Yeah.
it's easy to mix it up.
Of course. Of course. Yep. 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 All right. I'm trying to turn on my. I'm going to turn on my document camera and I'm going to read some of these. And woo, there was some. I read some of this stuff and I was like, what? What is going on? There's some good information in here. Is this all one? Oh my God, this is a long one. All right. Start with the long one. So everything I pulled is either DNA or the car. We're going to do the DNA first. I thought this was telling. And you can stay up as long as you want. If you want to jump down, just let me know. Like
Okay,
whatever you feel like.
I'm up. I'm up.
Okay. Now I got to get to my document camera. Did it put it down here? It's not pinned. Mm-mm-mm. The more I use it, the faster I'll get. I want to share. Let me do this. Nope. Remove. Oh, I do that. Stop. 1 second, you guys. I should write down notes to myself how to do this. Do I want to do an image file? It's probably an extra camera, isn't it? Sharing an extra camera. Oh, nope. It says upgrade. Oh my God, how did I do
Are you
this?
trying to mirror your display or capture a window or what's going on?
No, I think if I'm trying to show my document camera.
Oh, it's a camera.
Yeah, it's plugged in through a USB, but it doesn't go up in my tab, so I can't just share a tab. Let me pin it. Sorry, you guys. Give me a second. I did it before. I know I'll figure it out. I should have played with it. Oh, wait. I know what let me do. I got to shrink my screen. Will it? It will not become a tab. Oh my God. Don't do that. What did you just do? Get off. Okay. I should have talked about Jack Schoalter while I was doing this. Dead air, dead air. Oh, I know you were showing that video that you ended with. Do you know what the name of that channel is?
Which one?
The guy and the girl.
Oh, was it that lady who she got a retrial? Something about the juror that's the son of somebody? Or
Oh yeah, well they were talking about Letitia Staunch, but
bet.
the guy that was on there, Derek, he used to be on Big Brother. I thought that's why I like him. I looked up his channel on purpose.
Oh, really?
So I could. All right, I got it up here. Do you guys see it? It's probably not on. Is it on?
Okay, I sent it to you on Discord.
Oh no, I don't
Ooh.
need to play it. I was just talking about it while I.
Oh, gotcha. I'm actually fairly new to this case. I have not heard. Oh, well, I heard of what happened with the juror, but I had no idea what the case was about.
Oh, that was yeah, that's an old one. That's why. Why is this black? Oh my God, you guys, I'm so mad. What are we doing? What are we doing? I'm just gonna start clicking buttons. It's plugged in. It's open. I had it working earlier. I swear.
Sorry.
Settings. my God, I'm so mad. I'm going to try it again. A window. Nope, a window. I've done that before. Oh my God. All right, I have a backup plan. I'm going to try one more time if this don't work.
Oh my God. Last time I literally doxed my whole contact list on accident when I did that with the display.
I don't understand why the screen is black. I had it on earlier. Why is the screen black? Let me shut it off and turn it on. Oh, unplug it and replug it. That's always the solution, right?
Yeah.
Unplug and replug. All right, turn it on and turn it off. Let's try that. Nope. All right, let me technical difficulties. If you're just joining, I apologize. I've got everything nice and highlighted and ready to go. I swear I did so much work on this. I already read them, so I know. Oh my God. It's like panic. I don't know what I do. I'm just going to start clicking buttons. What's this? What's this? What's this? Nope. Get off. Oh my God. I am so mad right now. All right. We'll do this. I'll go to the digital version. I'm so sorry, you guys. All right. So let me pull this up. I'm going to unplug it for a while.
It's weird because it was showing on screen just a few minutes ago when you had it.
But it was black, right?
I saw the white frame that showed. Oh, I didn't notice. Actually, hold on. Maybe I can rewind on the. Whoa.
It
I
was. I think it was black. All right. What do I want? I want this one. All right. I got them right here, you guys. I apologize. So the first one that we're going to look at is talking about the blood samples that were collected from the house. And I know when we were looking at the photos, like, I mean, I talked about this before. We've talked a lot about how they were diluted, and this explains it. So the defense is calling them out on why these blood samples, some of them are diluted, and the state is trying to explain it. And I think the defense is very justified, and the defense is. And it's like, oh my God. What I thought, I actually predicted this. I showed a video a long time ago about how they collect the blood samples and the liquid that they use to dilute it. And I said, I think they over diluted it with the chemical. And that's what the state is claiming. So I was right about that one. All right. This is the rebuttal expert disclosure, Paulette Sutton, Exhibit S13. All right. Here it is. Okay. So the prosecution is saying, here's what we're anticipating that the defense is going to say based on, I mean, they've already submitted reports. On January 23rd, 2025, defense filed expert disclosures for Matt Nodal and Brent Turvey regarding crime scene analysis. The following anticipated testimony is in response to Nodal's scene reconstruction. Okay. Turvey's crime scene analysis and his crime scene analysis. All right. In addition to previously disclosed testimony, the state may call Paulette Sutton to testify regarding the following. And I got to say, I like Pauline Sutton because she seems truthful. Like she admits to some stuff. All right. So not necessary, but I'm going to do it anyways. We'll use this. Okay. And we'll use this. So right here. All right, here's what the defense says, okay? So the defense says that the drip trails, okay, in the house when present can represent movement of a bleeding person or movement of an object with wet blood of sufficient volume to continue to drip after blood acquisition, okay? So basically like the bloody weapon, okay? So he's saying that, okay, so there's two ways you can get drip trails. Either someone's bleeding or you're carrying around a weapon that is bleeding, right? And the state is going to say drip trails can indicate movement of an object if there is, enough wet blood on that object to make a trail. Okay. And then she says, in comparison, a bleeding individual can create a longer, more continuous drip trail. The comment made in Sutton's report was intended only to address whether or not a continuous drip trail indicative of a bleeding individual was observed. So they just asked her, do you see a drip trail? She must have said yes, is my assumption. And here's what I had marked up right here. This type of drip right here. This type of drip. What? So then we would have to look at the photo, and I think they tell, yeah, right here. So it's image 42. It's image 42. And I was trying to look for that this morning. Let's see. It's got to be in here. So let's look. We're looking for item 42. Skull, you can let me know if there's anything good in chat, comment to read or anything if you want.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
While I'm looking for these photos. All right, 42. Looking for numbers. Any number. Oh, I got to make this bigger. Bigger. Is my computer just like not cooperating with me today? What is going on? Okay, there we go. Sheesh.
Wait, oh no, that's something else.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, now it's too big. I have a feeling it's in Xana's room. But that's interesting. I never looked under the bed. item. Okay, here's 53. See, the yellow ones are after they collected, I believe, and the white ones are before they collected. And man, did they mess up. I have a feeling it's in here. Oh, now we're down to 5. These make no sense. No sense. This is someone else's room. Ay, ay, ay. Kitchen.
You know what I also found strange?
What?
The fact that when they talk about the DNA that they find under Kaylee's nails, not once do I hear any mention of Murphy's DNA or traces of the pet on the owner. You know what I mean? Like they discuss the blood, they discuss everything else, but wouldn't there be freaking dog hair or
Interesting point. Yeah, yeah. I'm mad that they didn't do anything with the dog. All right, so we're looking for marker 42. So if any of my mods have that image or want to find that image, let me know, drop it in Discord, and then I'll be able to pull it up. But I'm going to stop looking right now. So looking at marker 42, this stain is an altered blood stain, okay? The appearance depicted in this image represents what was left of the stain after the initial sampling conducted by Detective Talbot.
Hold on, is that saying that they didn't take the picture of where they got the samples prior to? They snapped the photos after they took the samples? Wouldn't that be like messing with the preserved scene?
They're saying that the way that the blood stain looked, they took a photo of the blood stain originally.
Oh,
And
okay.
then Detective Talbot came in and he collected it, and the way he collected it changed the appearance of the stain.
Oh, okay. So they're explaining why this thing might look different.
Yeah. So then they just collected it, and now it looks different. And now they're going to go try to test it. Like, you shouldn't change the appearance of it, meaning you diluted it.
Okay, there you go. Oh,
And
so they diluted the sample on the scene to get it. Okay, gotcha.
I'm going to show something right now, you guys. This is how they should be collecting blood samples, okay? And remember, the defense had an issue with this. They put that whole manual, items from the manual of standard procedures for everything. And one of them was collecting samples. So watch this and it'll explain it better.
Prepackaged sterile swabs. Some of them come packaged in 1, some of them come packaged in 2, but this should be done as opposed to the large box.
All right, let me start. Because there were so many things in here. Okay.
This is ideal for personal protection as well, because once you've got 2 pair of gloves on and you've collected a sample, you simply take the outer layer off and discard that, and you still have a pair of gloves on in the crime scene so that you're not contaminating anything, or more importantly, not getting contamination on yourself. So there's really 3 different types of
That's a good point there, Senor. The way that you use the liquid matters. And this guy's really going to point it out. But he points out everything that I think we have seen. Like, this guy's got 2 pairs of gloves on.
stains we're going to talk about in this presentation, although in real life situations there's several other. There's things like touch DNA and several other situations where you may be asked to collect biological evidence. For demonstration purposes, first we're going to discuss the collection of wet blood stains. So for that, the first thing that you're going to want to do is fill out a swab box. Swab boxes are commercially available. They're very nice for containing the swabs that you've collected the samples with. And it's easiest if you'll fill out the information on the swab box, such as a case number, and then go into the collection of the sample itself. The information that you should put on a swab box is the case number, the date. Some people prefer to put the time of collection, and your name and item number at a minimum. So once you've filled out the swab box, go ahead and close the one end and prepare it for collection. It's always recommended to use prepackaged sterile swabs. Some of them come packaged in one, some of them come packaged in two, but this should be done as opposed to the large boxes that contain a group of just open swabs. We always want to make sure that we're gloved up with fresh gloves in between each sample. Since this is one stain, we can go ahead and collect them with using swabs in one hand. The idea in mind here is to get as much of this sample on the swabs as possible. So twirling them around to make sure that they're fully covered is ideal. Because these swabs are collected from the same sample, they can be packaged together. So if the situation is you've got this wet of a sample, a lot of times what you want to do is dry it first. And there's many different methods of setting up a drying chamber or whatever. This is simply one of them. So once you've got the swabs dried, they're then packaged into the box. And the box is then placed into paper packaging of some sort, either a sack or an envelope, sealed up and labeled. In between each item of evidence, always change gloves.
Ha ha ha. Do you think they
So
changed?
he's drying the samples. Where does the fridge come into the picture? And the fridge supposedly breaking down, and they had samples of DNA. What's the difference between this collection and what they were claiming with the fridge?
I don't know what was in the fridge. I don't know if they exactly told us what was in the fridge. They left some of these boxes overnight in the house, though. Yeah. So I don't know. It's also, I don't understand why Talbot is, well, I don't know. So I guess Talbot collected the samples and then someone else is doing the testing at the lab. So yeah, I guess that. Let's see. Senor says, right, each swab box packaged separate, like the photo we see of the pile of swab boxes. Yep. And Sleuther75, thank you so much. If I find it now, where did you send that to me at? Let me pull that up. She sent me the photo. I'll keep playing this while I pull it up. All right, we don't need to watch him put more gloves on.
Is already dried, which will be the case most of the time. In this scenario, again, fill out the swab box with the pertinent information. Now, because the stain is dried, we're going to need to collect it using a little bit of water. So we want to take some sterile water, either distilled water or sterile water that can be purchased in pre-packaged like this. 1 to 2 drops of water.
Look at that, you guys. 1 to 2 drops of water. And think about the photos we saw with the blue, the light blue, like everywhere. It was like they dumped water on it. 1 to 2 drops on the swab. And I don't think about that. Like we were looking at like that railing that goes up to the 3rd floor, right? And then it was all dripped down the railing and like puddled at the end of the railing. Why would you do that? It's unnecessary. If there was
what chemical did they use? That you're describing right now.
Well, we haven't even got to the chemical part yet. First, they have to just all they're using is a Q-tip, a swab,
Right.
and put a drop of distilled water
Okay.
on the Q-tip and then roll it in
Oh.
sample.
So these fools were just drenching the liquid and friggin' sweeping through with the swabs as opposed to how he described it, right?
That's what it looks like, right?
Okay.
That's what it looks like in the photos.
And I'm assuming you're wearing a mask when you're doing this, right? Because I don't know if he went over the fact that if you're going to be collecting samples, you got to wear a face mask.
He didn't say that.
Because I'm like, I don't want my freaking mouth mist all over those samples. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then again, it's blood. Maybe they can differentiate saliva, huh? I'm overthinking it.
You accidentally spit in it. No, you're right. Yeah. You're right. Oh my God. What did I just do? Okay. Oh my God. I'm having a horrible YouTube day today. I'm having a horrible technology day today. What is going on? I should have read my horoscope. I just closed my
Your horoscope. You know what it is? I think it's beginner's luck for me because I always have bad luck on the first day of the job.
You usually have bad luck on the first day of the
Yeah, like on anything that I do for the first time. Like this is my first time on your panel. I mean, I had good luck. Oh, technically the smoke alarm is the only thing that ruined my experience with Dago, but I had fun.
I didn't even notice the
right.
so
I tuned it out, but no, it was embarrassing. Christy was struggling with that, but she finally got it fixed.
All right, let me. Oh my God, this is the wrong one. Now I've got the wrong one. The Academy. This one.
Hello, we're here at the National Forensic Academy, and we're in the
We'll watch that again.
gloves in between each sample. Since this is one stain, we can go ahead and collect them with using swabs in one hand. The idea in mind here is to get as much of this sample on the swabs as possible. So twirling them around to make sure that they're fully covered.
Wait, we didn't watch this part yet, did we? He filled out the box. Where's the liquid?
Each sample. Since this is one stain, we can go ahead and collect them with using swabs in one hand.
What am I missing?
The idea in mind here is to get as much of this sample on the swabs as possible. So twirling them around to make sure that they're fully covered is ideal. Because these swabs are collected from the same sample, they can be packaged together. So if if the situation is you've got this wet of a sample, a lot of times what you want to do is dry it first. And there's many different methods of setting up a drying chamber or whatever. This is simply one of them. So once you've got the swabs dried, they're then packaged into the box. And the box is then placed into paper packaging of some sort, either a sack or an envelope, sealed up and labeled. In between each item of evidence, always change gloves. So we want to take
Right here.
some sterile water, either distilled water or sterile water that can be purchased and pre-packaged like this. 1 to 2 drops of water is all that's needed on the swab, because if you put too much, you will be diluting the sample and lessening the chances of getting DNA back in the laboratory.
Ooh, that says a
Again,
lot
because we're
right
going to
there.
collect from one particular stain, these can be done at the same time.
Yep.
The idea in mind is to concentrate as much of that blood on the surface of the swab as possible.
So look, tiny amount of water, right? Tiny amount of water. You're just trying to get it to lift up the blood.
It's like you're just kind of hydrating it enough
Yeah.
for it to unstick, right? Oh my
Yeah.
God. It kind of feels like it's common sense, and I'm not an expert.
Right. and look at the evidence at the scene and those photos that we see. That's what I'm saying. Oh my God.
Did you go over those photos? I gotta go watch the replay because I really didn't pay attention to the photos because I was busy making music and stuff, but I should go look through all that because I missed out on all the photos.
I have my old video pulled up I can show. Let me show this photo. Right here. Oh wait, let me download it. And I need a cheat sheet on what to click on when I want to share something that's not a tab. Oh my God. Right here.
That happened with me with OBS, and I just mind you, like after 6 months of using it, I barely just mastered it down. I can imagine StreamYard.
This is ridiculous. Like it should be easy. Cancel. All right. So I'm going to share. Oh my God. It keeps making it full screen. I can't. Oh my God. Maybe this. Nothing's working for me today. I am so frustrated. 40. Okay, it's a PDF. All right, let's open my PDF. Untitled? Who knows what this could be? This could be dangerous. Remove. Sorry to do this to you, Skull. Like, I don't know where's it sending it? Gallery. Nope. Oh my God. Anyways, I found the photo of 42 thanks to Sleuther 75. Thank you so much. It's on a wall. And it's just showing the discoloration. So I have it, Sleuther. I just can't get it to show. So I don't know. I'm struggling today with sharing my screen. I'm going to have to practice. I will practice and I will make myself notes and then I will know how to do it in the future. All right, let's finish this and then I'm going to get back to the doc.
What are
Even though
you
that was a
trying to
relatively
show?
small area,
What's that?
What are you trying to show?
The photo of the item that they talked about in the document.
Because what if you send it to me? What if you send it to me? Because it says right here I can share my screen, and you would allow it. Like it would show that I'm in the back room, but
It's in your Discord, actually.
oh really?
I think she put it in your Discord.
Okay, let me go look.
Let's see if you got it. All right, I'm going to continue on. So we just looked at how much liquid they're supposed to use when they are swabbing these stains. We have seen the photos, most of us, of what the actual the smearing of the liquid when they did the testing and the blue dye and everything all over the place. And so they are saying here that when they did that, when they used too much liquid, they started with a stain that was a certain size and shape. And then after they used the liquid, it was a different size and shape. And so it says original images of this stain show it to be small spatter, and it's black and white numbered placard 42. The sample was then collected, likely with excessive water applied to the swab, altering the original appearance of the stain. Days later, when the ISPFS laboratory processed the scene, a yellow sticker 42 was placed and the after collection appearance photographed. So actually the one that Sleuther sent me, I believe is the yellow one. So that's the after effect. And I don't know if we get to see the before. I'm not sure. We might not have those photos. This stain was never DNA tested, and therefore it cannot be attributed as originating from any specific individual. The misidentification of this sample may be associated with the renumbering system deployed by Detective Payne. So they're saying this item 42 on the wall is not only changed from dilution, but also misnumbered. Let me see if this video might also show the amido black. Let me see.
you can see that
Oop. Let me see if this one does it.
nature, if you have a very small blood stain, for example, that you need to collect, in order for the laboratory to have the best chance of getting DNA, you're going to want to concentrate the blood on the end of just one swab. So in this scenario, we have several different very tiny in nature stains. Many of these are less than a millimeter in size. So this time, instead of using 2, we're going to use just 1 swab. We're going to make sure that we don't put very much water on it, so just a single drop.
All right, this does not show the amido black, so all right. Don't have that part. I don't have that part about the amido black. So I'm going to go back to the docs. I think that is super interesting that this is what, the renumbering, all of that. So they messed up the collection and then they messed up the numbering. All right, so that's the defense claims. That's what the defense is claiming. Now here's the response from the prosecution. The prosecution is saying that Sutton is going to testify that her description of stain 42 was based on its appearance in image 4587. If I have that. 4587.
So I'm sharing the screen of the photo that you wanted. So if you allow it, on, yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, you guys, this is the after. So when it's yellow, that's good to know. When you see the white placards, that's like they're identifying the stains. Then they do their collections, and then after that, they put the yellow. So I didn't know that before. Rendering any sample included in the renumbering. Yeah. Yep. She sure did agree with him on a lot. I just like to see seeing the details is like what she actually put. This one back up. There we go. I'm doing that okay. Okay, so then she's also saying that the defense expert had the advantage of seeing the stain in its original form, but she did not. Which isn't that weird? Like, why wouldn't so the prosecution, let's read into this a little bit, you guys. The prosecution only showed their witness, or not their witness, their expert, the diluted stain picture. They didn't show her the original stain. And so she's agreeing, or she says, if the original stain was in fact collected using excess water, then Sutton agrees with Nodal's opinion of it being an altered spatter stain. Sheesh. So then when she's talking about the DNA profile of stain 42, maybe there was supposed to be a DNA profile. They must have asked for it. Sutton was unaware of the change in numbering system. So they didn't even tell their expert that there was a change in the numbering system. What are we supposed to infer from all this information when you're not telling your own expert stuff? That's manipulative, at least, if not shady. I always say shady. Let's see. Okay. It correlated to the description of the agency number in the ISPFS worksheets described by Nodal. The misidentification of this sample may be associated with the renumbering system employed by Detective Payne. Any further investigation, Sutton removed any DNA results for stain 42 as it appears not to have been tested. Oh, after further investigation, Sutton removed any DNA results for stain 42 as it appears not to have been tested. And so my question was, Let me look at my notes. Look, you guys, I did such a beautiful job like making all my annotations and I can't show you. It's down here. So which one did they test? Which item did they test? And they're going to tell us about the numbering system later. And apparently you're supposed to subtract 6. I thought you were supposed to add 6, but they subtracted 6. So what's that? Item 36 then. So we should look at item 36 at some point. All right, here's the next claim. Sutton's report, page 16.
At some point.
Bubbly Waters is saying that this tells her it should have been a mistrial and Brian should have been exonerated.
Yeah, if it would have went to trial, right? Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy. It is crazy. I mean, the more this stuff comes out, like I love it actually because we've seen some of the other reports and we're picking up on the things that don't make sense. Like we're totally picking up on that. But then when this stuff comes out, we're like, oh, yeah, we can see it. I agree, Bubbly. Like when you mess with evidence, why is a MPD officer renumbering things? And then why is the prosecution not telling their expert witness that they renumbered things? That's crazy. Shouldn't have even had a chance to get to the trial, right? Right? All right. So I'm just going to keep going because it gets worse. All right, here's their next claim. Okay, so Nodal is the defense guy. So he's saying that Sutton's report depicts the underside. So the underside of the shelf above the headboard of the bed, and I believe it's Maddie's bed. Spatters associated with impact are noted on the underside of this shelf. These spatters represent the termination of the spatters associated with impact seen on the wall above the head of the bed. This part of the assessment should also consider cast off from a bloody object being swung upward and toward the northeast corner. So again, they're saying, I don't know, to me, this seems like the defense is trying to go after a lot of these spray stains all over the house would be from an object, not from the victim. Because I think they want to prove the victims were in other rooms. Don't you think? Thanks, Sleuther. You are rocking. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, peeps, Discord. Oh my God. Why won't this move? I'm struggling again. I can't move this. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. 36. I can't share them. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm going to continue on. Thank you, though, Sleuther. I appreciate that. Sutton's response. Sutton will testify that a cast-off pattern may be intermingled with the impact spatters on the underside of the shelf above Mogan's bed, but it is her opinion that a simple call of impact spatter is more conservative. So this one, I was like a little bit like, what is she really saying? So she's saying it could be both. It could be cast off from the weapon and it could be impact spatters from the victim. But she's saying, just to be safe, I'm going to call it that it's coming from the victim. Basically what she's saying. That's her reply back to that. All right, now we're going to get into Xana's. Remember there was a big mix up. It was Xana's DNA in the living room on that cart. And then they changed it to Kaylee, I believe, right? So the defense is saying Sutton's report, Xana Kernodle was injured in proximity to this table as a single drop deposited with dilution, potential dilution. It cannot be determined when this drop arrived or what specific mechanism generated it. The Sutton report incorrectly reported that stain F revealed the DNA of Xana Kernodle. However, no record of this stain having been tested for source DNA was located in the provided data. Oh, let me find my paper. Stain F revealed the DNA of Xana Kernodle, however. Okay, so the prosecution incorrectly reported that Stain F said that the DNA was Xana's, okay? But there's no record of this stain having been tested for DNA. There's no record of this stain being tested for DNA. What are they doing? What are they doing? Okay. Here's no additional or accompanying bloodstains, patterns, or transfers from Kernodle are demonstrated in this area. So there's nothing else from her. There's no data to suggest Kernodle was injured at or near this table. That's the defense. So here's what the prosecution comes back with. They say the incorrect DNA profile attributed to stain F has been corrected. So she's admitting there was a mistake. And then she changed the report. So they changed the report. The conclusion stating that the finding of Kernodle's blood on the table in the living room was the basis for Sutton's conclusion that Kernodle had suffered an injury at or near the table. Sutton's original reporting of DNA from stain F as being blood from Xana Kernodle was the result of her mistaken belief that the description of a stain as being collected from a second floor table was an alternative description of what Sutton referred to as the beer pong table in the living room. This error has been corrected, and the conclusion drawn as a result of this error has been deleted. I just can't. Let me see what you guys are saying.
Also, if you're ready, I put up the photo, the other one that Sleuth sent.
I don't see it. Where's it at?
Oh, let me share the screen again. My bad.
Yeah, sure. Let me take this down. Remove.
Okay, and then
thank you.
There you go.
It takes a team. Thank you, because I'm getting frustrated today.
I don't even know how I figured this out, and I'm learning with you, girl. I'm learning too.
See, I think something's up with my computer. I've clicked add to stage. Maybe I got to remove this one. That's why. Okay. They wouldn't go up there. Ooh, I gotta can you make it bigger, like really big so we can see that yellow number?
You want me to zoom in?
Yeah. We're looking for. Oh, see, we're getting confused. So we need to be looking for. Wait, what was 36? What did I read about 36? So we showed 42. We showed 42. And then, and so I said, so what did they really, so what were they really talking about? Okay. So they said, let's see if we can figure this out. So 42 was an altered blood stain, and they said that it looked different and that it was also numbered wrong. So when I was looking at how they figured out the correct numbering, they were subtracting 6. So if you subtract 6, it's 36. So then this one would be the one that they said got diluted. This is such a hot mess. This is such a hot mess. And then I also think they said it wasn't tested, right? The stain was never DNA tested. Would you DNA test that stain? I don't know if I absolutely have the right picture numbers on here, you guys, because to me, we're going to get to it. The directions of the misnumbering said in order to get to Talbot's numbers, you have to add 6. But then when they actually did they gave an example, they subtracted, like literally.
Hey, do you see the door? That weird, like the third streak? Is that the wood that's cracked? Or is that supposed to be blood too?
I don't know. It kind of looks like the scraping of paint off. Yeah.
Like okay, yeah, that's what. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. All right, because I was like, did they dilute that or what's going on?
Yep. Yep, that's what it looks like. Okay, so now we're going back to the defense again. The defense says the appearance of the stains indicated by the yellow oval is consistent with diluted blood. Diluted blood is created. We saw that. That's why I showed you that that video. Okay. So the defense is saying the mouth and nose injuries of Xana Kernodle, as noted in the autopsy report, are potential sources of diluted blood, as occurred with the stain on the third floor door. So you were right, Christina, number 42. So number 42 is stain on the third floor door. This stain was also diluted through the collection process. The original deposit was not diluted. So you can't say it's from spit. You can't say that blood came out of her mouth or nose and was mixed with saliva or mucus, and that's what diluted it, because the original photo was not diluted. Does that make sense? And then here's what the prosecution's going to say. The prosecution is going to say that the stain on the third floor, number 42, Sutton's description of this stain was based on its appearance on this certain image. Again, she's going to say, well, I didn't get to see the original image. So I didn't get to see that. So she agrees with him. I mean, this is crazy. The state's own expert is agreeing with the defense.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that last part?
The prosecution's expert is agreeing with the defense
Oh.
they used excess water.
Ooh. Ooh, that's freaking juicy right there. Oh yeah.
That's huge. That's huge. Because we saw how little it takes, a drop, in a huge, biggest crime case in the United States.
I appreciate you. Thank you, 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 thank you for the support. Thank you, thank you.
Hey, Michelle, thank you for becoming a member. Another green unique peep in the chat. Put some peeps in the chat and welcome Michelle to the green team, you guys. All right, that was a big one. That was a big one. And again, it's not that we didn't think this, but now we're actually like seeing it written in these documents and what they're saying. All right, so then she continues regarding the conclusion that the mouth and nose injuries of Xander Kernodle, as noted in the autopsy report, are potential sources of diluted blood. This statement does not imply a substitute for DNA testing. It is only stated as a potential source and was not intended to exclude other mechanisms. I think, let me finish reading this and I'll tell you my interpretation of it. Other evidence demonstrated that only Kernodle and the perpetrator were moving about her bedroom. This statement was meant simply to caution the reader that in this particular instance, an innocuous, like an out of the ordinary explanation for diluted blood should be considered in comparison to the diluted blood discovered in the adjacent room. And Sutton will testify that potential mechanisms other than blood originating from the mouth and nose should be considered and never intended to imply otherwise. So she's basically saying, yeah, I said it could be from saliva and stuff like that, but it can also be.
Hey, Senor was saying, well, if that's true, how does Santa's blood and DNA get under Ethan's fingernails? And it's funny that he mentions that because I forgot who was spreading a rumor that what if Santa was trying to get away from Ethan and then Ethan was pulling Santa back, supposedly.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Not, I mean, the only thing is what happened to him. Then how did that happen to him? I don't think he could self-inflict what was done to him. So you see what I'm saying? I think, yeah. So yeah, I think that what she's saying here about the perpetrator and Xana being the only ones in the bedroom, like what? What? No. And you're right. With the blood, with Xana's blood and Ethan's blood being under each other's fingernails, they were close to they were close to each other and to each other's blood stains, Ugh. Ugh. Just to think about that.
Were they being dragged in each other's blood? Were they accidentally scraped each other's blood with the nails? Is that what that's
reaching, right? Reaching,
not knowing what's going on. If he's supposedly taking care of both of them at the same time, gashes Ethan's hamstrings, tries to grab the perp, finishes off Santa, goes back to Ethan. It's wild.
It's disgusting and terrifying to think of that. And yeah, I mean, it looks like Xana rolled all over that room, like ran in there and from this side to that side. And and so, yeah, at some point, Xana, latched.
So what are they trying to imply that she fought the hardest? She fought the perp the hardest, or she was fighting the hardest to get away and fight for her life? If that makes sense.
I think both.
Both,
I think you'd have, I mean, I don't know, you'd have to probably. Um, yeah, I never thought about that. So yeah, I don't think one person could take both of them on like that. Or maybe the scene is like that because it was one person, so she had more of a chance to fight back. I don't know.
Did they say which inflicting wounds were the cause of death or no?
I do believe that information is in that other report. Like they do, I think they give the like wound that probably was the one that
Because I feel like
was
this killer must have been someone that's either trained in hunting, knew where the main arteries were to attack
yes.
these kids. That's the only possible way that I can think of. Where did they get the 7 minute time window? If you hit a main artery, if you don't freaking strap that up, you'll bleed out in like 8 minutes. But then they want to say that he had enough time to sit down and clean
Yep.
up a little bit. Nah, this is not adding up.
Yep. CA O'Kane says she ran in to protect Ethan while he was being attacked, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, I envision all kinds of different scenarios like that. Did only Kaylee have post-mortem wounds? I don't know if they say that in that report. And I don't think Olivia described it as, well, wait a minute. Yeah, so Olivia went in. Olivia was the one who gave us that information about the experimental wounds. I mean, they should have said post-mortem wounds. That's what that is. So they're already dead and someone's still stabbing them or injuring them.
Hold
Um,
on, but I could have sworn either someone read it somewhere or I heard that Ethan's head was nearly decapitated.
I mean, I know people say, I don't think that's anywhere
No?
reported though.
Okay, that's good to know. There's a lot I gotta revisit.
Yeah, I read the unredacted forensic reports that came out, and it did describe some of the wounds. And like you said, it was like the arterial injuries that were the um, cause of death, I believe, for most of them. But Olivia's the one, yeah, she's the one, and so then she would have only been talking about Kaylee because they wouldn't give her information about the other victims. So we don't know, to answer that question. I don't think we know about the other victims if they had postmortem wounds. I know the people saying that, like Christina, like I don't like those kinds of things unless like we know. Like, how do you know that?
Oh yeah. People were claiming that because I can see how that might give off the illusion the way they were multiple bags coming out, how they kept redacting them as they were taking them out.
Right. Yeah, speculating, sure.
Yeah.
Senor is saying Ethan was alive and moving long enough to grab Xana, maybe pulling her away to protect or pulling her off of someone that she was fighting earlier. Yeah. Like when I hear about their DNA being underneath each other's, it's not DNA, it's blood. Blood. So Ethan's blood was under Xana's fingernails and Xana's blood was underneath Ethan's fingernails. It doesn't mean they were actually touching each other. It just means they grabbed onto something that had the other person's blood on it. Right?
Hold on. Are there pictures of the nail clippings? I thought I saw them somewhere.
There are. There are. I hate, out of all the photos, those are the hardest for me to look at. I don't know why. I don't know why. Those are the hardest. Wait, what, Tomboy? Ethan technically inner and outer. What? How, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. So people thought there were 2 bags because of the way the autopsy read when the bodies arrived. Is that the report that's in the released forensic document things? I forget what that report is called. Ethan and Xana both having each other's blood is why the state said he simultaneously murdered them. I don't think that proves it, but they can try. They can try. All right. So the prosecution here, let me see. This was the stain. Okay, the dilution. All right, here's the defense, their next claim. The appearance of these spatters is inconsistent with diluted blood. The mouth and nose injuries of Xana Kernodle, as noted in the autopsy report, are potential sources of diluted blood. These spatter stains originated from an impact to a source of exposed blood located approximately 3 feet and 7 inches above the floor, as indicated by the scale in another image. So now the state is saying, so they must be talking about something different. Different spatters. Now they're saying that so the state is saying they are consistent with diluted blood. This pattern of diluted blood is consistent in color and appearance. On the pony wall, that's the half wall in the living room, and adjacent areas. Without source testing, this spatter cannot be assigned as originating for Kernodle, nor can it be associated with injuries to Kernodle without DNA source testing. So they thought there was... So there's a stain or spatter. There's spatter in Xana's room that is 3 feet and 7 inches above the floor. Okay. And they're saying that stain would come right from Xana and probably be diluted. I think the defense is saying right here that these spatter stains originated from an impact. So it would be like saliva or mucus being, and it looks just like what's in the living room. So I think the state was trying to say probably, they're trying to prove more than one person attacked, right? So if she's in different areas, probably makes it more likely. I don't know. Let's see if the prosecution's response helps us out. Right here. So this, I'm looking at my notes. So right here, this paragraph that I highlighted. So it says, this pattern of diluted blood is consistent in color and appearance to the diluted blood. Okay, Without source testing, this spatter cannot be assigned as originating from Kernodle. So they didn't DNA test it against Xana. And they're saying it looks just like the stain in her bedroom, I guess, is what they're saying. So the prosecution's going to come back and say that Sutton will testify that the pattern of diluted blood may indeed have been created by the same source as the diluted blood on the half wall. And she's agreeing. Here's another thing, you guys. She's agreeing. The mouth and nose injuries of Xana Kernodle should also be considered. So I don't know. I think the defense is still arguing it's diluted. It looks just like oh my god, you guys, the bird just ran into the window again. What are you doing? Why do you keep doing that? He's done it like 5 times. I feel so bad. What am I supposed to do? I don't want him to die. Oh, Slither. Oh my gosh. What are you trying to do, honey? What does that mean when a bird is trying to come in through your window? Did I take you down?
Hey, I'm back. Sorry, my computer completely died. I just plugged it in.
Aw, I know. I forget to plug mine in all the time. I'm freaking out because there's this little robin outside my window.
It says back.
Yes, and it just 3 times tried to fly. It's taking its time. It's not going full force. But it's fluttering up towards my window. Running into it.
Hey, so you said that they didn't bother testing the sample with Santa's blood because they eyeballed it, basically said that, oh, it looks similar to the stain, so they didn't test it.
Say the last part again.
They didn't test the blood because they're saying that it looked exactly like the stain in Santa's room. Oh, what was that part you were talking about? Like-
Yeah, they're making a comparison. So there was a section earlier where they said in the hallway, and they both agreed that there was a stain that was diluted. Oh no, that was upstairs, the upstairs stain. Now they're saying the defense is saying there's a stain in Xana's room that's also diluted, and probably not just diluted with saliva and stuff, probably diluted from liquid. And the prosecution and they're saying because it also looks just like the one in the hallway, and the state is saying, okay, yes, it could be from the liquid, but we can't rule out that it's from saliva. And then they're saying, well, it was never DNA tested. So I don't understand any of that. It's weird.
Okay, so that makes sense. So basically, they couldn't tell if the dilution was from whatever liquid they used or if it was saliva, and then they just didn't bother testing it to confirm that. That's worse.
Sorry. Oh my God. You guys, I got to go out and take care of this. What am I supposed to do?
But like, I don't know. Do you have like color construction paper? Is it like the window? Is it flying to the
Yes. Yes.
Just-
You guys, hold
so-
on. I'm going to do that real quick. I'm sorry. I got to save the birds. And then I'm going to give Sleuther a huge shout out for 10 memberships. I will read those in one
Yeah.
second.
How's everyone doing, huh? Gang, gang. Peep. Peep, peep, peep. Girl, why didn't you call 911? Why would I call 911 if somebody came all up in my house? That's paperwork. That's evidence. Bro, I'm gonna make a music video with a bunch of little ducklings rapping. I'm gonna make them all decked out in gangster clothes, hip hop. It's gonna be the funniest thing ever.
Okay. Sorry about that. Save the birds. Save the birds.
Yeah.
I heard you the whole time. I would love a rap song with the peeps, the
With
gangsters.
the peeps, right?
That's
But
awesome.
what do you think with rubber duckies or the peep design you have up? You need to send me your designs.
I'll send you the images. Yeah, because I
Okay,
got different
bet.
kinds. I got one. I don't know if it's this one. One's smoking a cigar. That's funny. Oh my God. Sluther75. Thank you so much. 10 members. I got to see who got those. Let's see who got those memberships. I'm looking in studio. Right here. All right. We've got, let me count these. Itty Bitty Poof, Jasper the Jester, Reasonable Doubter, Ashley's Activism, Ken Barron, Jay Bloom, B Diddy Diddy, Mandy Johnson, and I think a couple mods, Jesse Lynn and Christina. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome to the Unique Peeps, you guys. Sluther, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You're so generous. Sharing things with me and handing out memberships.
Clock it. So I gotta say thank you. Clock it.
Clock it, girl.
I love that one. Clack it.
Hey, so are those videos that you have clipped and you have them set up or what?
Yeah. Yeah. You save them under the video clips.
Okay, that checks out. All right, that's good to know.
Yep. Those are fun to make. Those are fun to make. Put some peeps in the chat, you guys. 10 new members. All right, let's get back to what we were talking about. Yeah, that was confusing about the diluted blood. All right, then we've got the state again says they're still talking about the dilution, okay, that it was diluted with another liquid, changing the appearance. It's just repeating the same thing. This is just repeat. The important thing here is that for some reason, Sutton, for the prosecution, she's saying that her statement that the diluted blood is potentially attributable to the mouth and nose injuries of Xana was not meant to imply a substitute for DNA testing. So here's what I think happened, you guys. I think that this was supposed to be DNA tested, obviously, and they found out that it was diluted. And so they said, well, we can't test it because it's diluted. How many samples did they do that with? A lot. I think a lot. And their expert, their own expert, Bill Thompson's own expert right here is saying you shouldn't have stopped DNA testing just because I said it was diluted. This is my interpretation of what I'm understanding this. That's crazy. She says she will testify that the potential mechanisms, I think it worked, Skull. I think the construction paper worked.
Nice, yeah, something so they see visible. Nice. Because I watched a video a long time ago where like these birds, someone dealt with it. I don't know if it was a home improvement channel.
Yeah, I knew you were supposed to put something in the window, but I didn't think about construction paper. Yeah, it
Yeah.
just tried to do it, but then it flew back. I just feel bad for it. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm sorry, you guys. I'm getting distracted. All right. So Sutton will testify that potential mechanisms other than blood. originating from the mouth and nose of the victims should be considered and never intended to imply otherwise. So she's saying, yep, it could have been too much liquid. Could have been too much liquid. I don't know why they had to do so many paragraphs on this. All right, here's some vehicle blood in the car. We're going to talk about blood in Brian's car. Regarding the findings of secondary transfer in the vehicle or residence of Mr. Koberger, Nodal states the comprehensive search of Brian Koberger's vehicle did not locate any blood or specific evidence in connection with the events that took place at 1122 King Road. Nothing in the car, nothing in his apartment. Here's what the prosecution is saying. She's saying there is evidence that the assailant did not have blood on their person or on any objects in their possession, and that secondary transfers of blood inside the residence did occur. Is she a fortune teller? This doesn't make sense. What? She's saying the assailant would definitely have blood on them. And secondary transfers of blood did occur. So she's admitting that blood from victims transferred around the house. Okay. A prediction of the amount of secondary transfer of blood that would be highly likely does not agree with the relatively small number and quantity of blood in secondary transfers which were found. This is so hard to understand. Let me see what I highlighted. I put where's the a prediction part? Hold on, this is going to help me interpret it. Oh, here. Who am I reading? I'm reading. Okay. I'm trying to match up to my paper. My nice paper that I had all highlighted to show you. Okay. So Sutton says this one. Let me get rid of this. So the state is saying secondary transfers of blood did occur. All right. And then she's saying only a limited amount of blood was transferred outside of the bedrooms. Even during the activity associated with an assault, when the perpetrator was focused on the assault instead of exercising caution not to create secondary transfers, only a limited amount of blood was transferred outside the bedrooms. I don't know how the state is trying to twist this, but it's going to get clear. While spatter was widely distributed in both bedrooms involved, the amount of spatter in the surrounding areas where a perpetrator would be located as to create a void, and then she means like an absence, trying to avoid getting blood on them, okay? If a perpetrator had been covered in blood, it seems a void would be identifiable. What's the void? An absence of blood in an otherwise continuous blood stain or blood stain pattern. Like a footprint, right? Can we just say like a footprint? Okay. There was no visible footwear transfers associated with any of the possible exits from the scene. We know that. Even though it can be established that the perpetrator left the scene, they did so without leaving visible footwear footwear transfer stains. Okay, so I was wondering right here when it says secondary transfer of blood inside the residence did occur. Are they talking about on the knife from victims in Maddie's room over to Ethan's? Because we haven't heard that yet. Or are they just talking about like blood from Maddie upstairs is in the living room? I think they're just talking about that. The main point of this, I'm not showing you guys. The main point of this is that the state is saying the perpetrator would have had blood on them, but then they didn't leave evidence of like footprints or anything leaving. And, the defense is going to say it's because Brian Koberger didn't do it. So he didn't have blood on him. And the state's saying, well, he's going to have time to take off his clothes, change his shoes, and do all that. So that's why. So it doesn't mean it didn't happen. The state's going to try to prove that he had blood on him, but didn't get it in his car. That's basically what they're saying in this report. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. CAO Kane, she is saying she would expect to find DNA in the car and home of who perpetrated the crimes. But she has to admit to the fact that there isn't. Like she's saying, there's no visible footprints. They know he left the scene, but there's nothing showing he left the scene. So here's the next one. So now they have these redacted photos. Okay. So whatever this photo is, it says that there's a lack of large amount of blood staining on the wall opposite Madison Mogen's bedroom. So how did that get there? Is the perpetrator so bloody that they rubbed up against the wall and got blood on the wall? How is that blood getting there? I think this goes well for the defense. I don't care how well you clean or think you took off your clothes, you're going to have something in your car. So then this next photo that we can't see is showing a lack of a large amount of blood. Oh, wait, maybe I read that last one wrong. I'll go back and correct it. Lack of large amount of blood staining on the wall at the foot of the bed of Madison Mogen's bedroom. I don't know what they're trying to prove with this. Lack of a large amount of blood staining on the wall. I mean, this is going to be evidence of a cleanup, isn't it? Lack of a large amount of blood staining. So there should have been blood there, but there wasn't. Lack of visible footwear transfers leaving Mogen's bedroom. So there should have been footprints, bloody footprints leaving. I think if the girls were killed in Maddie's bed, that scene didn't it seemed like you could have left that room without stepping in blood. Xana's room, no way. Xana's room, no way. Hey, Seahawks fan. Okay, so there's all these lack of blood that they're saying. Lack of blood evidence of the perpetrator, okay? So what's significant about that in the vehicle? The significance of the lack of secondary transfer in a vehicle purportedly used when leaving the scene must take into consideration what is applicable to the particular scene in question. Oh my God, could we make this any more confusing? One must consider first that there is a limited amount of secondary transfer within the scene. Okay, so they're saying there wasn't that much transferring of blood. So they're trying to say the perpetrator wouldn't have had that much on them. An assailant can easily remove protective clothing and shoe covers. So they can do that. And they can clean or wipe. They can wipe off excessive blood before making contact with secondary surfaces. So every time the perpetrator attacked one of the victims, he was cleaning and being super careful not to like get blood anywhere else in the house. So Brian was able to not get blood anywhere else in the house. There's no visible footwear transfers associated with any of the possible exit scenes, even though it can be established that the perpetrator left the scene. They didn't leave footprints. Oh, and then don't forget, he could have cleaned his vehicle and residence. So, let me see, how many more of these do we have? All right, there's just a couple more points by the defense. Okay, so the next one is the defense is saying that the secondary transfer of blood are common when a particular bloody scene is encountered because these transfers are known to occur regularly. Such secondary transfers of blood are purposefully sought during crime scene processing and evaluation. So there should have been like the transfer of blood all over the house, and they should have been looking for them. And then the prosecution is saying, I don't know, this is so convoluted. The significance of the resultant findings when examining secondary surfaces such as the vehicle or the residence of an accused must be interpreted considering all available information as stated in the text. So in this textbook, oh, here we go. The lack of blood stains on an accused person should be viewed as an issue of further inquiry. Often the lack of blood stains on an accused person or his or her clothing will relate to the types and location of the deceased's injuries or actions. Therefore, the analyst should exercise caution as to what the size of the stains or the quantity of spatter is expected to be present. I mean, I don't even know what they're trying to say here. Basically, they're trying to say, well, there's no blood in his car or in his apartment was because he didn't get any on him in the house. I think that's what they're saying. Who flung blood around on the second floor? Exactly. All right. The state has the burden. Blood should be in his car. They are claiming it is his, and it was forensically ran through a ringer with no findings. Therefore, their claim is flawed. The car is out of the equation. I know. Yeah, they can't try to connect. They can't go into court and say, well, there should have been blood in his car. He's the perpetrator because there should have been blood in his car. You can't go in and do that. He doesn't have an alibi. Hey, Blue Devil. He'll have one when we get that AT&T timing advance records. I know. Right. And so that's what the prosecution is saying. And then the defense is like, come on. The perpetrator had blood all over them. There was not one single speck of blood in my client's car. You know, that is evidence towards his innocence. And the last one, I believe, of the defense. They are saying, so nodal describes, oh, here's the renumbering, you guys, okay? Let me get to my page about that. Here we go. Okay. Nodal describes renumbering of samples. One must add 6 from the Payne item number to get to the Talbot on-scene placard number. See, this is what I don't understand. Oh, yeah. So if Payne's item number is 17, you add 6. So then Talbot's number would be 23. Okay. So vice versa. If you're looking at the Talbot number, you would subtract 6. That's what it was. So the yellow stickers, okay. So I think I did it wrong. The yellow stickers, the ISP personnel used yellow stickers, but their numbers matched the original numbers. So as a result, if Payne pre-logged a sample into the ISP system as sample 48, it would actually represent sample 42. See, I think they gave the wrong example here. They just said if you're looking at Payne's number, you should add 6. And here they're saying Payne gives a number 48, it would be 42. I don't think so. I think it would be like 54. They just can't do anything to not make something confusing. So here they're giving an example, okay? They're saying the assigned lab number 77 to this stain. So ISPS, they gave the number 77 and it was shown to be linked to Kaylee Gonsalves. I don't know why they're saying then assigned. The ISPFS then assigned lab number 77 to this stain, and it was shown to be linked to Kaylee Gonsalves. So I think this is the difference between the Xana being in the living room and Kaylee. I'm not sure. So we'll have to look at lab number 77. I have that stuff here, but. So here's what the state's saying. I was not initially aware of this situation. Again, way to inform your expert. Would you think she's mad? Do you think she's a little mad? If you were Paulette Sutton, would you be a little mad? I would.
Are we? Have you read this already before, or are you reading it the first time with us?
No, I read it. I've had it highlighted, underlined. I read it.
Does it get better? Is she mad? So
if you were hired to be the expert, okay? So I'm the prosecutor and I'm like, hey, Skull, I want to hire you to be my expert witness. And you're like, yeah, okay. And then I give you a report that doesn't have the correct information in it. How would you feel?
Oh, damn, it reminds me of the Karen Reed case.
So it would be probably embarrassing for you, right?
Hell yeah.
I mean, I'd be pissed. I would, because you're a professional, like you're an expert.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to be made to look dumb. Yeah, SRB, I'd be ticked. That's probably why in these reports she's like, F them. I agree with the defense.
And this is the prosecutor's side?
Yes.
Oh my God, that makes it 10 times worse.
Yes.
This is comedy, girl. I need this document. I'm gonna give you credit. Writing credits.
Yeah. Yes, Roxy Tucker. I'd be mad. You're not going to make me look like an a-hole because you're incompetent. It's so excessive. It's so excessive. Like it's not just the DNA. It's not just one thing with the DNA. I mean, it's crazy. It's not just one person with the DNA. I mean, there's so many layers and things to this. Oh my God.
This is amazing.
Crazy. All right. What was the other thing? Oh, so no, I don't think I want to watch that one. Oh, we finally get to hear from the medical examiner. We finally get to hear from the medical examiner. And let me tell you, it's not much.
Hear like audio or read a report?
It's her report, but it's super short and she hardly says anything. Like, I can't.
Chat GPT. She's gonna give us the Chat GPT explanation of the procedure, but not exactly what she did, right?
She is going to give a very weird description of the injuries that happen from a knife, a K-bar knife. That's the only thing she talks about. She is saying it is a K-bar knife, but and she's going to give her opinion on why she thinks that. Is this it? Here it is. Here it is. It's short. This is 12. So I was on 13. My neighbors are going to hate me now because I have construction paper taped in my windows.
You're not part of what's it called? Those home or where like the neighbors are nosy because they're part of a home.
No, HOA. No.
Thank you. Yeah.
No,
Ma'am, we don't appreciate the construction color of your paper, ma'am.
No, but I can tell you I have a horrible neighbor. Like I have the Wicked Witch of the West that lives across the street from me. And let me tell you, like, she's been caught, like, because Carlos used to be a race car driver, right? Dirt track. And like, we live in a neighborhood. So, you know, we don't have like, we're not out in the country where you can just like park your cars all over the place and stuff. And we would try very hard to like keep them in a side yard by a fence so it wasn't an eyesore, like stuff like that. And this lady was like out at restaurants, like talking about us, like, oh, we have these cars and all this stuff. And it got back to us. And then one time, because she lives across the street, I was parked on the street because I don't know, I was having work done at my house or something. Like there was a legit reason why I had to park on the street. It's a 2-lane road and she lives on the other side. She had a whole lane of road. She left a note on my car saying she couldn't get out of her driveway.
You should have been like, bitch, you need a hug? Who said no to you today? Come here, I got you. I'll give you a hug.
This was years ago. We don't
Oh, really? Okay, I better not see you on the episode of Nightmare Neighbors where the neighbor murders the other neighbor and have years of fucking rivalry.
Yeah, we don't even look at each other anymore.
That's so funny. Damn, your mere presence ruins her whole day. You live rent free in her head, and here you have no word to the world. Oh, that's so sad. I feel sorry for individuals like that.
I'm just like, you're talking about me in public. Like it got back to us. Like, hello, like, what are you doing? Oh my God. And then the note just took me out.
The note took you out.
She needs 2 lanes. She needs the whole road to get out of her driveway, you guys.
She thinks the bumper of her car is the size of her derriere. No, I'm just kidding.
And the first thing that started it was I used to have like this is why I love your dog so much because I had it was a cockapoo and
Ooh.
a cockapoo and what's the ones with the upturned tails?
Okay, because I got there's Maltese Poodle, there's Cocker Spaniel Poodle mix, there's
No,
Bichon
Pomeranian. Pomeranian. So it was
Pomeranians. Okay, those
they,
are different.
they mostly looked like Pomeranians and they were only 10 pounds. They were these cutest little puppies and they passed away. I don't have them anymore. But when they were so like they fit in my hand when they were born. They were so cute.
Uh-huh.
And when they were, little puppies, I would put them out in the front yard, out on a stake, and I would run up and get ready for work in the morning and leave them out there in the morning so they could have some outside time. And they barked the whole time. And this is at like 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay.
Oh God, I know how that feels. Hey, when they were puppies, how were their like paws? Were they like a tomato red at first?
I don't
No.
think so. No.
When the puppies were born, they didn't have the black pigment on their paws. They literally looked like cherry tomatoes. It was the most funniest
Oh,
thing
wow.
ever.
Wow. Yeah. So, anyways, the dogs would be barking out there. I had no clue. I'm in a whole nother part of my house. I don't know they're barking. All she would have had to do is come over and say something, but I guess she put up with it for so long. Like, it must have driven her crazy. Like her rage level, it was like you could have played the Wicked Witch of the West music. Dun, 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 dun. Like she comes storming across the front yard and she screamed at me, And I was like, I was a young mom. I was like fairly new to the neighborhood. And she just like took my head off. And I was like, okay, okay? Like, I'll
Wait,
never
she
do
took
it
your
again.
what off?
I said screamed my head off or took my head
Oh, I
off.
thought you said she took your hat off. I was like, damn, the audacity of this lady.
Hi, Dago. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. And I just was so taken aback. And even when I said, I apologized profusely, like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I won't do it anymore. She just kept going and going and going. And I finally I blew my top back at her. So yeah, we're not fans.
Is she like single? Is she married? What's her issue?
Well, she's older and she's by herself now. At the time she had a husband.
Oh,
Always the husbands are always nice and some
yeah.
the nice husbands and the bitchy wives. Yeah.
She's probably lonely.
Her daughter lives right down the street. She ain't lonely.
Never mind. I take you back.
Excuses for her, Skull.
I'm trying to humanize her. Screw that lady.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Okay, so I will summarize this about Veena Singh. Now, here's the thing about Veena Singh. I have tried to get information on her. And in fact, I did put in a FOIA request for like her reports, her notes, anything associated with her work without anything having to do with like the victims' bodies, or like I didn't want to see any of the photos of the victims' bodies or anything like that. And it got approved. I got approved for the FOIA, but it was so expensive. I didn't want to pay out my own money for it. Not like outrageous, but I mean, I think it was over $100 or something. I don't know. So I told them no, that I wasn't going to get it, but I wonder if I can now go back and resubmit it. That would be interesting because I want
The
more.
trolls are showing up, Kim. So I blocked a troll. Just so you know.
What
Give
did
me a
they,
heads up.
was it
Oh,
bad?
they're saying, oh, it's amazing that other content creators allow me to steal their content 24/7. I'm like, try again. I'm like, they're all my friends.
Oh, I got you. Yes.
Yeah. It's all good. That means we're onto something.
Wait, I still see it. Did you block it?
Yeah. Oh, you'll see it because you're the main content creator. But it'll show you that I hit the person.
Oh, okay. I just blocked the comment. Okay.
All right.
good. Yep, take care of those things. Okay. So yeah, my only worry is I don't know what they would give me, but who knows? I should try it again. I was kind of proud of myself that I got one approved though. They don't always get approved. All right, so Veena Singh, I also could not find anywhere she had testified. I've said that before, but here's what she would have testified. So if this would have went to court, she was going to say that all victims would have died within minutes. So that's what she was going, and this is the medical examiner, you guys. She was unable to determine what each individual victim was experiencing at the time of this altercation. But in general, wounds such as this would be painful due to the extensive involvement of tissues containing sensory nerve endings. That seems like unnecessary description for me, for that to be in there. I'm what does pain have to do with the amount of time? I guess she could have been more clear, like the types of injuries would show. I don't know. Now I'm thinking she's contradicting herself. Like they would have died within minutes. Maybe she's not saying that's fast. Maybe she's saying it would have taken a little bit of time based on the injuries. Okay. I'm going with that. That's my interpretation. She will testify that a K-bar style knife is consistent with the injuries sustained by the victims. Okay. And I'm going to show you where I'm at. Make this bigger for you guys. Can I get any bigger? Maybe. Yep. So right here. So she's saying it was a K-bar knife. Like it could be a K-bar knife. It's consistent with the injuries. All right. Now I think her explanation's kind of convoluted, but she's saying in response to the defense claims that not all of the sharp force injuries observed could have been inflicted by a K-bar style knife. So I think the defense had 2 points here, that the victims didn't die right away. They didn't die within minutes. And the defense for Brian Kohberger was saying not all the injuries look like they came from a K-bar knife. And then so the medical examiner is saying, here we go. The dimensions of the skin wounds can't be used to exclude a knife based on the knife size. What? You can't look at the dimensions of a cut and then exclude a size of a knife. Think about that for a minute. So if I get a paper cut, I can't say it wasn't made by an axe. Kim's what needs clipped? What needs clipped? What? She's saying, right? She's saying you can't look at the wound and rule out a weapon or a knife. Any knife can make any type of wound, basically. And here's her reasoning. So here's her reasoning. This is because the skin contains elastic tissue, which will stretch around a weapon and recoil or retract when the weapon is withdrawn. I mean, yeah, if it goes straight in and straight out, right? I guess if it goes straight in and straight out, yeah. I don't know if they said they were all like puncture. I don't even think I saw the word puncture. Puncture is in and out, straight in, straight out. And then she says the elasticity of the skin often causes the skin wound to be smaller than the size of the weapon used. So, larger weapon, smaller cut. That's interesting. So, I know Dago's always talked a lot about like a machete,
Hey,
larger machete, smaller wound.
who's the one that supposedly carved a machete out of a bat?
Oh, it was like a bat-like object with a machete on it.
Yikes.
Yeah. And they called it a bat-chete. Yeah.
Oh, yikes.
Exactly, Lucy. When you have gouges,
Mm-hmm.
I think you're gonna lose some of that elasticity.
They were like literally carved into.
And let me tell you guys, I'm no doctor, I'm not a nurse, but I don't even know if I should share this or not because I don't want to be like I'm gloating or anything. But when my son was sick in the hospital, I have to get some positive things out of this experience in the hospital.
Yes. Yes.
Some of you don't know, my son had leukemia. He survived. He's a living adult. But when it was horrible when we went through it. And
Yeah.
I would question, like I would do just like we're doing here. I would read the lab reports. I would read, and didn't really understand them, but when you have common sense and you can look things up and find definitions, and even though you're not an expert in that field, you at least, in my experience, learn enough to at least ask the right questions. And I
Yeah.
feel that's what I did when we were in the hospital. And I even had probably like after the first year, the nurses were like, "We thought you were a nurse."
Hey, but you know what? Plenty of times, doctor visits, you become familiar with these things, and it's very
Yes.
important. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can learn. You can
Yeah.
learn. So I feel like I'm always trying to defend our community with like the way that we're reading these documents and talking about these documents. There's very smart people on here. We can learn, we can and the more that we're reading this stuff, we can understand it and at least ask good questions, I guess, is what I
Yeah, and it encourages us to look more into research. Heck, this is the only case that encouraged me to even learn about transfer DNA, how DNA sample works, the collection, how they test it. Or else I would have never in a million years cared to have searched it. So,
yes. Oh, CAO Kane, your friend's son went through it, so yeah, my son had a bone marrow transplant. I mean, we
I
went
lost
through it.
I lost my cousin. My sister tried donating bone marrow, but she struggled, I think, 2 years. And then,
Oh,
so thank God your son's okay.
yeah, it was. Thank you, and I'm sorry to hear about your cousin. It's a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing. Yeah, they're gonna
Yeah.
get to the serrated, non-serrated stuff next. Okay. All right. So I liked Lucy's point about the gouges. I feel like if there's gouges, you're going to lose that elasticity because you're losing more of an area. Okay.
What sucks is that we don't get to see the unredacted photos because what that suggests to me, if they have gouges, I think they just try to exaggerate the severity of how they were attacked to make Kohlberger look more psychotic. How many stabbings were they claiming that he did on each body? And then you're claiming gouges? Now they're trying to justify the gouges and trying to pass it as something else to make him look more crazy, more aggressive. And at what
Yeah,
point did they drop the crime of passion narrative? Because if it was not targeted, where does the crime of passion come from?
exactly. Exactly. They just made it all up. They had no evidence for this stuff. I'm going to go back to, I'm getting some questions here. It's a long story about my son. Ultimately, he was sick all the time. And so blood work was how you figure it out. But it is, that's why my show is called Typically Unique. It came from our experience with our child. Our first like 30 or so episodes, if you go back into my videos, not the lives, but the videos, and you go back to the oldest, and it's rough, you guys. When I started my channel, it is rough, but we tell the whole, I kept a journal through the whole thing. The journal is like, I don't know, probably almost 3,000 pages because it's
I
2 years.
think I might have watched it.
Yeah, you can, and me and my husband told like our whole experience together, and it's sad, it's funny, it's frustrating, it's you're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that." So yeah, if you're interested, go check out those older videos. It'll definitely let you get to know me a little bit better. My
It's raw, it's
personal.
personal. I mean, it's very transparent. That takes a lot of courage too. And then who knows, you're gonna touch other families that are probably going through it.
Yeah, my son he was born with a rare immune deficiency disorder, but we didn't know it until he turned 5. And the bone marrow transplant cured it. So he's actually written about in a scientific journal. Like that's one little nugget.
How long did it take to figure out he had leukemia?
That didn't get diagnosed till he was 12.
Really, that young?
Yeah, it's horrible. It's a horrible. But
Were,
the reason I
did
wanted
you
to
get
talk,
answers right away, or were they like he was sick all the time and they wouldn't give you answers?
no, he had the kind that comes on fast and strong.
Okay,
So,
bet. Okay.
yeah. But the reason, the point I wanted to make is that my initial point of making this channel, me and my husband, was we wanted to advocate. Like we wanted to, because it's a happy story and it's still a tragic story. And so the tragic part of it, and because I always talk about mental health stuff,
Right.
I want to talk about it and I want to advocate for it, and I can't. Like I feel like I can't because it affects someone else, and I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and that's a hard, I don't want other people to have to go through that part of it.
Gotcha.
And I don't know. I struggle. It's a struggle, you guys. It's a struggle. Yeah.
Especially being a mom. Especially being a mom, you guys have it harder.
It's heartbreaking. I did everything I could, in that situation to help him survive. And then I don't know. I don't get to see him anymore, even though he's healthy and so it's hard.
Hold on, help him survive. Wait, he survived or passed? Or
He survived.
he survived. Okay, sorry, my bad. I got a little confused, but I'm like, yeah, you say he's grown up. Duh. Sorry.
Yeah. There's a little bits about that in my videos. So yeah, you guys can get all that back there. But yeah,
Okay.
we all have our things, right? So, and I just share this so that you guys get to know me a little bit better, Not all sunshine and roses all the time. All right, let's get back to the venusing here. So now we're going to talk about serrations and striations. So to me, that's kind of like little tears and things like that. And she's going to say, that the fine striations are not indicators of a serrated blade. So the defense was probably going to say there are wounds that look like a different, that, maybe a serrated K-bar was used. So, and the prosecution was saying no. So they differed on that. And then she's also saying that, so there's a photo, we're not going to be able to see it. And in this photo, there are injuries that could be caused by any blade, whether it's serrated or not. A serrated blade leaves more prominent, evenly spaced abrasions. I think this is funny that these are not victim photos here. These are not the victims. These are demonstrative. These are demos, and we're not allowed to see them. We can't see the demo photos. Thanks. Kiss me. Yes. A lot of people that I lean on for support say we are, and I think also we are happy that he is alive and well and breathing and living his best life. That's what we wanted, right?
Hey, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna take my dogs out to pee real quick, but I'm also watching on my phone. So
You're good. Thanks
okay.
for coming up with me. Yeah, I'm probably only going to be on for a few more minutes. Thank you.
Okay, then I guess I will call it a day. Really appreciate you. Thank you for all that you do for us, especially reading the docs.
Check back if I'm still, call it, play it by ear if I'm still on or not.
Okay, then never mind. Then I'm gonna stay here. Then I'm just gonna mute myself. I'm gonna take them out, and I'll be right back.
All right. No grooves, just a smooth blade. No, I think she's saying that there are some. She's saying that there are some striations, okay? But she's saying they could be made basically with any weapon. She's saying that the striations that they're seeing, like the cuts, the edges on the cuts of the victims, I'm just saying it in plain language, don't match a serrated blade, because a serrated blade has measured out divots that would like make a more of a pattern maybe. So she doesn't think that it's a serrated knife. Okay, now they're going to talk about the number of weapons. So Venus Singh is going to testify that the blunt force injuries, okay, they can be made by a body part. So a fist, an elbow, a knee. They can also be caused by pushing somebody into a wall or a table or a bed frame. So it doesn't have to be from another weapon. So the defense is saying the blunt force injuries to Kaylee basically are from a certain type of weapon. And the medical examiner is saying, nope, those could come from a body part or being pushed into another object. And that's it. That's all we get from her. That's all we get from her. I don't know. Though I thought, you guys, I had like 6 things lined up to read, but I know I did have technical difficulties. But we looked at, it took longer to go through that DNA, the blood spatter DNA stuff. Like that was crazy. There's another report. I'm not going to read it today because I've already been on over 2.5 hours. but there's another report in there. I'll come back to it on Monday because it's Friday. And it talks about the sheath DNA. And there's one about CODIS. That they try to explain things, but again, like I've looked up, like what are the rules about CODIS? Like you're able to look that up. You can look it up and read it for yourself. So it's interesting to see what the your legs are asleep. It's interesting to see what the prosecution was going to try to say. All right. SRB, wouldn't the medical examiner have testified? Yes. And that I just read what she was going to testify to. So if Veena Singh would have gotten on the stand, she was going to say that that she thought a K-bar knife was used and that it was not serrated. That's what she was going to basically testify to. Oh, and that she can't determine what the blunt force injuries were from. So that's basically what she was going to say. I would think there'd be a whole lot more than that, but I think they don't want to touch that other stuff, like time of death, stomach contents, the stage that the body was in, to help determine the time of death, things like that. All right, you guys. I am going to go practice with my document camera. So when I want to use it to show you guys stuff, I'll be ready to go and not have to get frustrated. And also, thanks for being patient with me about the bird.
You're getting off?
Yeah, I'm wrapping it up.
Okay, sounds good. It was fun, though. It was really fun.
Hanging out with me.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yep. All right, you guys. Say the name of your channel.
Oh, crap. I don't even know my own name. Oh, Skomachi Investigates.
You've got it titled that now?
Oh, yeah. Well, I can't change it till 4 days. So we got 4 days to come up with something. But here, I'll post the link.
Yeah,
It's like
Skull Investigates is what it's called now.
Yeah, that's the channel name. But the handle is still
not remembering because you've changed it too many times.
I know.
All right, you guys, please go over to Skull Investigates. The link is right there, and like and subscribe to his channel. It's awesome, and we want to show him some love. And he goes on usually in the mornings, right?
Yeah. So 2 a.m. Pacific.
Your Pacific time.
Yeah, so I go on like around 1 in the morning Pacific, so that'll be 4 a.m. Eastern time.
4 a.m. Eastern time. All
Until
right.
you go on.
Yeah, so he does some long lives, so you can check him out at when you wake up in the morning.
Yeah,
and,
wake up, pre-show, before typically, and Dago. Why not?
Yep, and then True Crime Cafe with Dago is going to go on. It's usually late afternoon. So yeah, we'll go over and look for that. Thanks, all you mods who were in here. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Sleuther, for sharing the photos with me, for the memberships. Welcome, Michelle, to the new memberships. I was saying thanks for the patience while I took care of the bird.
And you know what's up? Have you seen that Family Guy episode where Peter's like, it's just a bird, a bird, and then a bird. That's so funny.
Yep. So, all right, we are gonna clock out for today. Then, 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Come on over here to Typically Unique for the verdict room. And we are going to have Truth and Transparency on as our special guest. That's 6 p.m. Eastern time. Okay.
Cross
Eastern
fingers.
And it's the True Crime Cafe with Dago. It is Logan from the Bronx Tales and Mikey from the Last 24 on the mic that all co-host together, and it's going to be an awesome show. So 6 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow night. Yep. And then I'll be back Monday with my regular live. And do you do yours all weekend long?
Who, myself?
Yeah.
Surprisingly, yes.
All right. So Skull's putting in 24/7 or 7 days a week.
Right.
All right. Have a great day, everybody. And I will see you tomorrow evening. And thank you, Skull. Thanks for coming up with me.
Have a good one. It was a pleasure. Bye.
Bye.
I did it.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Subscribe, it's free and keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew now, right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. That could be unique, yeah, that's you and me. Don't forget to like and hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. It's free, it keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew now, right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife and wild to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. Yeah, that's you and me. That's you and me. Don't forget to like, hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear.